Alright lads and lasses, welcome along. I think it's time we had a bit of a chat, didn't you, about that there Power BI and the different bits within it. Hi, so you know Power BI's got a website and there's all the web bits for it. And you know Power BI's got like a desktop program and desktop bits. But do you really know how it all starts to fit together? So I thought let's have a chat, gone through that bit, make sure it makes some sense to you. And we're just going to talk about pro and free for now. Alright, a little bit maybe if we have to, but hopefully just pro and free. Let's see how it goes, eh? So first off, we've got Power BI Desktop. We've all seen it, we're kind of used to that. Now what that is, that makes sense. That's where I can write them reports, isn't it? Really think of that as a report authoring tool. I wouldn't say, oh, do you know what we can do? We can use Power BI free. Let's get everyone to get Power BI Desktop, put the content in there and share it with everyone. From my experience and where we're going through it, company I was working with at the time, it worked. We could send the file out, but the requests and the comments I got was, I hit refresh and it takes 20 plus minutes. Right? Depends on the size of your model, what you're doing, you might make it work for you. My advice, POCs at best, or at most with it. Avoid sharing PBIX files around the business and saying, oh, here's the report you can use, save yourself some time, it's dead good, my Power BI rocks. Don't do that. Use the service once you get there. Think of Power BI Desktop as your report authoring tool. It's there, it'll help you build reports, it does a great job for you, but it's not a consumption layer. Right? Power BI's next trick, Power BI Modern Workspaces, right? When Power BI first launched, the Power BI component that you would use in the cloud was the same as the Power BI, well, as the O365 groups. Had all the swings and whistles, all the bells and whistles of an O365 group, that's what it was. Had all the curses as well. Recently, about 12 months ago, Power BI or Microsoft released an update. They brought through these modern workspaces, as I call them. So now Power BI uses what they call Power BI Modern Workspaces. At the time of me writing this, doing this, you could just about still use O365 groups with it. But honestly, Microsoft did come out and they've said, oh, we're going to remove that functionality at some time, lads. So I'd be careful. Don't use them. Avoid it like the plague. Make sure you use them Power BI Modern Workspaces. That's what you want to be doing. A workspace is like a collaborative environment. So, how, lads, we're all going to work on this together. Lasses as well. It'd be great. Let's get in there. Do a stuff. That's the kind of thing you might be doing. You're building that content. You can have multiple data sets in there. The content that you'll have reports in there. A report as a single data set connected to it. You'll have dashboards. Dashboards can have multiple reports and data sets connected to them. You'll have data sets, which of course can be there, and you'll have data flows as well. So there's 4 different types of things that will be in there. Definitely, that's the place to work. You do also have the elephant in the room, which is this My Workspace that everyone gets. Even a free subscriber gets a My Workspace. I've got my workspace, it's brilliant, I don't need out, as people say. Don't use it. Think of it as nothing more than like a little post-it note area. Don't have content shared there. Don't do out else with it. The reason why is that if that person leaves, there's no way that you can say to Microsoft, oh, I need to back up that area, oh, we need to recover that area, oh, we need to... It doesn't support it, right? It just is not sensible. If you're going to put stuff in it, and honestly, professionally, I use my workspace all the time, but it's stuff that's of use to me, and as soon as I'm starting to say, oh, do you know what, this is for a wider audience, then I've definitely got to start thinking, where am I going to put it? And we'll get a modern workspace set up for it, get it to a modern workspace, and then we'll do the last bit as well. Weird. Okay? Modern workspaces, great to know about. And the last thing is apps. Now, apps is that true consumption layer. So when you're saying, I want to republish this report to management or the team over in Dubai or the team over in Well, anywhere else. Swindon, you know. Whew. Apps is the way you do it. Okay? You can have one app per workspace. That's kind of the limitation, if you want to be that way about it. It is a limitation, but when you understand how workspaces work, how you can share data sets, it's not really the limitation that it's made, that your mind will draw on it now, say, oh, one app per workspace. Well, what happens if I need to do more than that? You've got your job done. No hard coding, no difficulties of putting in an RBAC model. It's a nice, easy way of dealing with it. So, looks like Microsoft got you covered with that, if you ask me. That's the three of them on paper. Should we have a quick look at what they look like? So first off, PowerBI Desktop, yeah? Here's what PowerBI Desktop is. Remember this when we were building our COVID data set. Dead good, works dead easy. You can see I can have all the functionality. I can see the workspace elements of it. You can see all the elements, all the tiles that are on the desktop. It's there. And I've got all the tabs along the bottom. Yeah? If we have a look at that though, in the service, you'll see it looks a little bit different. Let's get it out. So this one, so here it is in the service, and you see straight away, first off, these are kind of locked almost. I don't have the ability to do much with them. Well, I can drag the map around, I meant kind of this. I can't move it around like I could in PowerBI Desktop. It's locked. Got these visual headers. There's an easy way of turning them off. I've left them on purely because when I did this I wasn't thinking about doing it on here. Leave it on as well though, because I want you to see some of the options you've got. So you can focus on them. It kind of brings it up. We can see the filters that have been applied to it. We can click more options. We can then obviously download bits and pieces of it, spotlight it, which kind of makes it more visually intensive on the screen. It's kind of useful if you're going to be doing it in a presentation or something like that. There's lots of options you've got, but it gives you a clear view. This is it in the web. You notice as well, my tabs are on the left hand side. Now this one, I've put this is in my workspace. Now this is one of the things I say, I want to use this, I want to keep working on it, I want to do stuff with it. I'm using it in my workspace. Look here, I've got an out there. There's nothing I can do with it, it's here. Saying that, because if we're going to a fish in the tiny one, you see I can create an app. Now, you can only have apps from shared workspaces. My workspace won't support apps, it won't support other things. So didn't share stuff in my workspace. Unfortunately it lets you. I wish it didn't. I really wish you couldn't go in here and hit to share it. It kills us every time people do it. But they let you. Avoid it though. Best practice, didn't did. Hit back the fish one. You can see got the option to include it in the app or not include it in the app. You'll notice data sets, data flows as well. You don't really have a choice about including them or not including them in the app. And that's because they're part of the data. They're not part of the visualization there. And the app is just about visualizations. So reports or dashboards you can do. Content creations you can't. Come to create your app. Come here. Got to give it a description. Yeah, you have to give it a description. And I guarantee you, this is one of them things that you'll sit there and go, why is this not working? Why is this not working? I've done it enough times in my life where you've sat and you're like, why is that not working? Because there's no description in it. Give it a logo. If you want, pick a theme colour for it. Got the modern navigation on it. Use this. Didn't untick that and go back to the old navigation. The new navigation, it's here to stay. At some point they're going to disable this, so if you're learning it now, I'd figure this stuff out. It's dead good though, because you can start to do stuff. So we can say, oh, I want to put a link in here. A new link. We're going to go, oh, let's go back to Geordie Intelligence. And that's going to be HTTP. Tell it where to open it in the content area. No groups. And lastly, permissions. You can put groups in here, O365 groups. One of the things that's really tightly integrated with this is Microsoft Teams. So if you've got a Microsoft team, you can add that in here. And they're really useful for using in terms of giving content out there and sharing it. Because you can also, if you share it with a team, you can embed content pages or visuals from the report pack in the team's site. These checkboxes, think about them, allow users to share the app. It's up to you. It doesn't really make much difference. If you haven't got a need to, I'd take a pick, make a decision as a business, which one you want to do. And then the last one, my advice would be to tick this one. So, my business, obviously for us at this point in time, we haven't got this all set up, largely because I haven't got a full O365 subscription set in this. Just got some Power BI things. We'll see how far we go. If we need to push more and get more stuff into Azure and more of this, I will do it. But at this point, I'm happy with this. But I'd recommend, business-wise, check that box. Publish the app, hit to publish it, and then what you'll see, when people come to the apps, they go to the apps. So from the home page, you go into apps. And you can choose to get apps, and we'll see the apps that are available to me in my organization. So it comes, now we can pick the app that we've got. You might have a list of these, choose to get it now. This will bring me back to a screen. If I check the box to make it visible or install it automatically, it would appear there. So now I've got my app, I can open my app. See, very similar, but you'll notice on the left hand side with modern navigation, it's even cleaner, isn't it? You kind of got that whole reporting landscape layout there. Have a look at that. You've got your filters there. We'll come back to this on another time. And then lastly, remember I said you could put a link in here. This is great for putting in help information. How to get me help page. Who do I need to contact if I've got an issue? Putting stuff like that in here is brilliant. If you've got a Power App written, for example, where people are actually putting in data, you could put a link to that Power App in there. Lots of things you can do with this. Really useful. This case is, say, click on it. So here we can, you see it's just loaded straight up, brought us into the home page. And I'm still in my app. So I can always click again back, see the reporting pages, scan back to the home page. It's all good, yeah? It's a really useful trick to be able to do. So remember that when you do your apps and you build that, you can really start to make a really good, in-depth and enriched experience for your viewers and your content. Alright, that's it for another Tuppence Tuesday. Keep going on with Power BI. Honestly, if you've got any issues, don't be a stranger, man. Let us know what's going on. Stay indoors, stay safe, and take care of each other. See you on the Friday, eh?